If you thought the Kardashians held the crown for messy family drama, buckle up. Because what just went down between Chrisean Rock, Blueface, and the unofficial CEO of Chaos herself, Karlissa, makes their drama look like a church picnic with free lemonade. This is the kind of scandal that makes even love and hip-hop producers sit up straight and whisper, We didn't write that. Because out of nowhere, and I mean with zero warning, zero permission, and zero shame, Karlissa allegedly took baby JR's DNA test behind Chrisean's back. Yes, you heard that right. She didn't suggest it. She didn't ask for it. She didn't even pretend to be subtle. She marched right into the scandal factory, pulled a lever, and said, let's see who really screams first. And the moment this leak hit the internet, Chrisean didn't just react, she detonated. This wasn't a meltdown. This wasn't an argument. This was a Category 10 emotional earthquake. A full-blown supernova explosion that could power Los Angeles for a decade if scientists could bottle her fury. Stay right here. Because what happened next didn't just break the internet, it set it on fire, rebuilt it, and broke it again. This is wild. From the very start, everyone knew the Blueface Chrisean Karlissa universe wasn't built on logic, peace, or anything remotely resembling normal human interaction. This tri-state area of chaos operates on pure adrenaline, generational trauma, and whatever Wi-Fi signal is strong enough to go live during an argument. But even by their standards, what happened with baby JR's DNA test felt like someone pushed the storyline into a whole new dimension of madness. To understand how we reached this point, you have to rewind just a little. Not far, just enough to see the smoke before the explosion. Because for weeks, Karlissa had been dropping hints like a detective in a dollar store trench coat. Random rants, cryptic IG stories, and those signature I'm not saying I'm saying, but I'm saying live videos. Anytime JR's name came up, Karlissa's eyebrows would raise so high they nearly touched the ozone layer. She kept talking about the truth, mother's intuition, and what Blueface deserves. Like she had a backstage pass to destiny. People thought she was being dramatic. Then they remembered this is Karlissa. Drama is her cardio. Meanwhile, Chrisean was doing what she does best, living loud, unapologetic, chaotic, and absolutely ready to swing on anybody who breathed wrong in her direction. She believed her spot in Blueface's world was solid. She believed JR's place was untouchable. And she believed Karlissa wouldn't dare pull anything too wild because, well, even chaos has boundaries, right? Wrong. One fine afternoon, social media caught fire with a rumor so spicy it needed a fire extinguisher. Screenshots hit Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok like flying debris from a tornado. Karlissa allegedly took JR's DNA test without telling Chrisean. The internet didn't walk. It ran. It didn't gasp. It choked. People were screaming at their phones like they were watching a championship fight. But the real detonator, the claim that Karlissa didn't just ask for a test. She took the swab herself. And if that sounds wild, trust me, this is the kind of storyline that would make Maury throw his cue cards in the air and say, I'm too old for this. As the rumor spread, people started stitching together Karlissa's previous comments. Every side-eye on Liv. Every cryptic quote, every moment she shaded Chrisean with the precision of someone who went to college for professional petty studies. Suddenly, everything made sense. She had been plotting like a villain who knew her twist reveal was coming in episode 8. Meanwhile, Blueface was sitting in prison, probably confused, tired, and wondering why his family tree kept sprouting drama like it was trying to win a reality show contract. But the biggest question everyone wanted answered was simple. How did Karlissa even get the swab? Because getting DNA from a baby behind a mother's back isn't easy. Babies cry, wiggle, scream, and suddenly decide to sneeze at the exact wrong moment. This isn't a smooth operation. This is a high-risk mission that requires precision, timing, and a complete disregard for boundaries. People imagined Karlissa moving like a villain in a telenovela, dramatic, exaggerated, and full of confidence she absolutely did not earn. Maybe she waited until Chrisean was distracted. Maybe she offered to help take care of Junior just long enough to pull the swab maneuver. Or maybe she simply walked in with that energy of I'm the grandma, who gon' check me? Nobody knows. But everyone agreed on one thing. She had the audacity of a woman who hasn't been told no since the Reagan administration. Within hours, the rumor turned into full-blown internet wildfire. Blogs were spinning like slot machines. Comment sections were nuclear. Memes were forming faster than scientific data. People were making reaction videos with faces so dramatic you'd think they discovered their man texting 3 women and a bot at the same time. And then, Chrisean found out. There are moments in digital history that feel like the atmosphere shifts, like the earth pauses, like even the algorithm holds its breath. This was one of those moments, because the instant Chrisean realized Karlissa had meddled with JR's DNA test behind her back, the tone of the internet changed. Suddenly, every phone screen felt like it was vibrating with tension. You could practically hear the dun-dun-dun sound effect echoing across social media. Chrisean wasn't just mad. She was activated. This is the same woman who has fought security guards, swung on castmates, dodged handcuffs, cried on live, laughed while crying on live, and sprinted barefoot through multiple states like she was training for the Olympics of chaos. So when news hit that Karlissa touched Junior without permission, let alone took DNA from him, Chrisean's rage went from simmering to volcanic. She hopped online with that signature voice that sounds like truth, trauma and joy, fury, and a warning siren all mixed into one. She didn't ease into it. She didn't warm up. She didn't take a deep breath. She came in hot. Her words hit like lightning bolts thrown by a goddess who just woke up and chose violence. She said Karlissa crossed boundaries. She said she violated trust. She said she wasn't playing with anybody, messing with Junior. And she said it with the kind of energy that could make a full-grown linebacker apologize for existing. The internet erupted again. Some people were Team Chrisean, calling Karlissa everything from toxic grandma to DNA Dora the Explorer. Others were Team Karlissa, claiming she was just seeking the truth like she was auditioning for a detective show. The rest were simply enjoying the chaos with popcorn emojis, because this storyline was juicier than Thanksgiving turkey soaked in drama marinade. But while the world was choosing sides, no one could deny the severity of what happened. DNA isn't just a test. It's identity. It's legacy. It's family. And doing it behind a mother's back is a betrayal so deep it might as well come with its own theme song. Behind all the yelling, the memes, and the internet hysteria was a simple reality. Karlissa didn't just overstep. She trampled. And in that moment, Chrisean Rock didn't just lose her patience, she lost her entire sense of tolerance. The fury in her voice wasn't the regular I'm irritated tone. This was the I might start flipping furniture tone. The don't talk to me unless you have armor on tone. The tone that belongs in a Greek tragedy where goddesses seek vengeance for acts that disturb fate. As emotions surged, fans started digging deeper, trying to uncover whether Karlissa had the results yet. Had she seen something? Was she hiding something? Was this just a power move? A control move? A press the red button for fun move? But one thing was undeniable. This was only the beginning. Because while Karlissa may have taken the swab, she had no idea what kind of storm she just unleashed. The moment Chrisean's reaction hit the timeline, the digital universe didn't just explode, it broke into 24 pieces, caught fire, and then trended on every app simultaneously. It felt like the internet suddenly remembered its purpose: to witness mess, react to mess, and meme the mess until sunrise. Nothing unites strangers from around the world faster than a jaw-dropping family scandal. Every platform transformed into a virtual stadium. And the fight happening at the center was the kind you don't turn away from, even if your grandma calls you for dinner. Twitter was the main battlefield. TikTok became the commentary booth. Instagram acted like the chaotic recap show. Even Facebook aunties crawled out from church groups to ask, "What's going on with that Blueface boy again?" Within minutes, the memes rolled in like a tsunami. One viral meme showed Karlissa dressed as a supervillain holding a giant cotton swab like a weapon. Another had Judge Judy slamming a gavel with the caption, "Order in the court, DNA testers go to jail today." Someone even made a mock movie poster titled, "Fast and the Furious, Family Secrets," starring Chrisean gripping a microphone like it was a sword and Karlissa posing like a Marvel antagonist. The reactions weren't just funny, they were savage. Celebrities chimed in like they'd been waiting for this moment. Summer Walker posted a story saying, "Y'all grandma's getting bolder every year." Academics didn't even wait for verified info. He went live instantly. Loud, messy, and ready to overanalyze every rumor like it was a leaked government document. Even Saucy Santana dropped a tweet saying, "Not grandma doing CSI work." But the real turning point came when Blueface's old interviews resurfaced. People began piecing together clips like they were investigators on a crime show trying to connect red strings on a corkboard. In one clip, Blueface talked about trusting the process. In another, he mentioned keeping receipts. Suddenly, Twitter detectives were convinced he knew something before going to prison. They dissected his facial expressions like they were decoding ancient hieroglyphics. Theories exploded faster than microwave popcorn. Some said Karlissa must have gotten results already and was sitting on them like a dragon guarding gold. Others claimed she did it out of pure spite, not for truth, but for ego. A few insisted she wanted revenge for years of feeling ignored, overshadowed, or blamed for everything wrong in Blueface's life. It was giving Greek tragedy, but filmed on Instagram Live. Meanwhile, Chrisean was still emotionally orbiting another galaxy. Every hour came with a new wave of frustration, a new verbal explosion, or a new Instagram story featuring her pacing like she was preparing for a boxing match she didn't ask for but was definitely ready to win. Her supporters flooded the comments with battle cries. "Touch the baby again and we rise. Nobody messes with Junior unless they want smoke. Chrisean, you want us to pull up." The energy felt like a superhero origin story, but written by somebody who eats popcorn for breakfast and loves drama more than water. But then, out of nowhere, someone leaked a screenshot allegedly showing a confirmation email for a DNA results request. The internet froze, like completely. You could practically hear the collective "oh my god" from every corner of social media. People were zooming in, enhancing, analyzing shadows like it was the Zapruder film. Was it real? Was it fake? Was it photoshopped by a bored teenager with too much free time? Nobody knew. But everyone treated it like it was evidence in a scandal documentary set to air next week on Netflix. Creators on TikTok made 10-minute breakdowns with red arrows, slow-motion zoom-ins, and dramatic music. One popular creator said, "I'm not saying Karlissa did it, but I'm saying she did it with enthusiasm." Another said, "This is the kind of plot twist even Zeus would side-eye." But the real madness began when someone claimed they had audio of Karlissa talking about the test. That clip went viral instantly. People listened carefully, analyzing tone, background noise, echo, everything. Some swore the voice was definitely her. Others said it sounded like someone pretending to be her. But the damage was done, speculation became gasoline, and the fire spread. Celebrities added fuel. Cardi B posted a cryptic tweet saying, "Family be doing too much." Lil Baby's producer dropped a laughing emoji under a meme of Karlissa swabbing a doll. Even Snoop Dogg reposted a meme of someone holding a giant Q-tip like a baseball bat. But then, out of nowhere, a new twist appeared, and this one turned the chaos into a full-blown tornado. Karlissa went live. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't calm. It wasn't gentle. She came on camera with that classic "I'm ready to ruffle feathers" energy. She didn't confirm anything. She didn't deny anything. She did what she always does, talk confidently, vaguely, and dramatically enough to keep people guessing. She said things like, "People need to know the truth. I'm not scared of nobody's reactions. Sometimes mothers have to step in. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing what's right." Each sentence felt like a cliffhanger. Each phrase felt like she was dropping breadcrumb traps for the internet to follow. It was the verbal equivalent of poking a hornet's nest with a stick and then acting confused when the hornets get mad. and the comments section. Absolute mayhem. The chat flew by faster than her last 10 arguments. People asked straight-up questions, but Karlissa danced around them with that patented "I said what I said, but didn't say what you think I said" finesse. She turned dodging questions into an Olympic sport. At the same time, Chrisean was live on her page. Yes, you read that right. 2 lives, 2 audiences, 1 nuclear-level conflict. It was chaos theater at its peak, like a split-screen reality show where both characters think they're the hero and the internet is the judge, jury, and chaotic chorus. Chrisean wasn't holding back. She was talking about trust, respect, boundaries, and how nobody better come near Junior without her permission. Her tone was a mixture of heartbreak, fury, comedy, and pure adrenaline. She called out old folks doing young folks' business. She threw in a few iconic lines. She made it clear she wasn't stepping back. This moment became legendary. Fans said it felt like Marvel's Avengers Family War Edition. Everything escalated until even random celebrities who had never commented on Blueface-related drama suddenly had opinions. Social media influencers who typically discuss makeup or gaming were like, "So let's talk about the DNA test." And that's when the rumors took a darker turn. Whispers began that the results might reveal something Karlissa wasn't ready to admit publicly. People speculated she wasn't doing this for clarity. She was doing it because she thought the truth would put her back in control of Blueface's narrative. Because to Karlissa, control isn't optional. It's oxygen. But what she didn't realize, what nobody realized at first, was that this scandal wasn't just about DNA anymore. It was about power, about loyalty, about ownership of the story. And the moment all 3 collided, everything spiraled into the kind of aftermath nobody saw coming. The moment the internet realized this wasn't just a scandal but a full-blown family earthquake, the storyline shifted into a new level of intensity. What happened after Karlissa's DNA stunt didn't just shake the Blueface universe, it cracked open every relationship around it. The fallout spread like wildfire, burning everything in its path. And suddenly everyone involved was forced to face consequences they weren't prepared for. As the shockwaves hit, people began questioning what this meant for Junior, not just as a baby caught in chaos, but as a symbol of the tug-of-war between 2 powerful forces: Chrisean's explosive loyalty and Karlissa's relentless ambition. Public sympathy instantly leaned toward Chrisean, because the internet knows one thing for sure: you don't mess with a mother's baby, whether she's famous, wild, or unpredictable. Once the situation became about her child, the public saw her anger in a new light. Behind the scenes, Chrisean reportedly made it very clear that access to Junior was not going to be handed out casually anymore. Not to family who overstepped. Not to people who thought embarrassment was a hobby. Not to anyone who believed they had more rights than the mother herself. This wasn't just emotional reaction. This was survival instinct. A line had been crossed so deeply it might as well have been a canyon. Meanwhile, Karlissa was experiencing the flip side of the internet's rage. Her comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Longtime followers who once entertained her antics were suddenly calling her out for dragging a baby into a social media storyline. Even people who normally defend her had no explanation for why she'd go behind a mother's back and perform her own CSI operation using an innocent infant. What she saw as helping or protecting her son, others saw as manipulation and violation. But Karlissa didn't back down. If anything, she doubled down with that signature mix of confidence and chaos. She insisted she had every right to know the truth. She claimed she was thinking about family legacy. She argued that lies were more harmful than honesty. But even with her explanations, people weren't buying it. The internet was unified in its disbelief, a rare moment when everyone agreed on something. The craziest part: Blueface's name became even louder in the conversation despite the fact that he wasn't physically present at all. His absence created a vacuum of speculation that fans filled with theories. Some said he secretly approved of the test. Others believed he was caught off guard like everyone else. A few insisted he'd be furious when he heard what his mother had done. Blueface became the ghost in the story, silent, distant, and everybody's favorite person to blame. but the real emotional storm existed between Chrisean and herself. The betrayal hit her so deeply that her reactions weren't just anger. They were heartbreak mixed with humiliation mixed with fear. When trust breaks from a stranger, you block them. When it breaks from family, you mourn. And when it breaks from someone's mother, the betrayal becomes a wound no apology can heal. Her fans noticed the shift in her tone. The humor was there, the attitude was there. But underneath it all was a woman who felt violated. Meanwhile, analysts and influencers started dropping think pieces like they were philosophers studying a digital war. People compared the situation to everything from Game of Thrones family politics to Real Housewives reunion-level tension. One viral commentator said the storyline felt like Shakespeare with acrylic nails and Instagram filters. It was messy. It was dramatic. It was undeniably addictive. But the biggest slap in the face came when whispers spread that the DNA results, if they existed, weren't even released yet. Meaning the entire world was spiraling over a test that hadn't officially confirmed anything. The drama wasn't about the truth. It was about the betrayal, the secrecy, the audacity, and the emotional explosion that followed. The truth of JR's lineage wasn't the scandal. The method of finding it was. As the dust settled, the consequences became clearer. Chrisean reportedly made plans to distance herself from Karlissa permanently. Not temporarily. Not until emotions cooled down. Permanently? She made it clear that trust had been shattered in a way that couldn't be taped back together with flimsy apologies and shaky explanations. The apologies and shaky explanations. The emotional bridge between them wasn't just burned, it was vaporized. On the other side, Karlissa seemed almost surprised by the magnitude of the backlash. She had built a reputation on shock value and raw honesty, but this time her actions echoed louder than her words. Audiences weren't laughing. They weren't amused. They weren't entertained. They were disappointed, a reaction far more destructive to one's public image than anger or attacks. Disappointment is the one thing you can't fight with more drama. Public perception of the Blueface family also took a hit. People questioned everything from their boundaries to their loyalty to their understanding of privacy. What once looked like messy fun began resembling something darker, a cycle of chaos where nobody knew how to stop the wheel from spinning. The storyline became a warning sign about what happens when fame, family, and social media trauma blend together into one explosive recipe. But as with every scandal, the thrill eventually shifted into curiosity about the future. Would Chrisean allow any contact again? Would Blueface try to mediate from inside prison? Would Karlissa soften, reflect, and apologize publicly? Or would she dig herself deeper and claim she was still right all along? The internet couldn't predict it, and that unpredictability kept everyone watching. Even in the midst of the chaos, one thing became painfully clear. JR's DNA test wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a brand new chapter. A chapter filled with tension, distance, and long-term emotional consequences that would affect everyone involved for years. The kind of story that doesn't fade after a few trending hashtags. The kind of fallout that shapes relationships permanently. And the most mind-blowing part, everyone knew another twist was coming. Because in this universe, drama doesn't disappear, it evolves. It mutates. It returns stronger, louder, and even more unhinged than before. Nothing stays calm for long, not in the Blueface Chrisean Karlissa world. Peace is a rumor. Chaos is the lifestyle. So as the internet stared at the smoking aftermath of the DNA scandal, one chilling truth lingered in the air like a cliffhanger at the end of a season finale. If this was the explosion, imagine the storm that's still on the way. And if you're still here after all this chaos, then congratulations, you officially survived another episode of real-life drama that makes reality TV look like a bedtime story. Because let's be honest, nobody does explosive scandals, family meltdowns, and generational beef quite like the Blueface Chrisean Karlissa universe. They don't drop news, they drop detonation devices. And we're just lucky enough to witness it all from behind our screens where no flying shoes or DNA swabs can hit us. But before you run off to stalk their Instagram lives, Smash that like button like it owes you money, like you're collecting rent from it. Like Chrisean smashing a microphone when someone says the wrong thing. And hit that subscribe button with the same energy Karlissa used when she went full CSI grandma mode. You know the drill. This channel is basically where scandals come to recharge. Before they go viral again, drop a comment below and tell me whose side you're on. Because this mess has more angles than a TikTok conspiracy video. Are you Team Chrisean protecting her baby? Team Karlissa chasing truth like she's auditioning for a detective show? Or Team Junior because he didn't ask for a NY of this but ended up the star of the storyline anyway? And trust me, do not go anywhere. This universe doesn't rest. The scandals don't pause. The chaos doesn't take weekends off. The moment you blink, somebody else goes live. Somebody else leaks something, and somebody else starts a storm that floods every timeline on Earth. So turn those notifications on like your life depends on it. Because here at Fame Flaws, we don't just report the drama, we unwrap it, roast it, exaggerate it, and serve it hotter than Chrisean's temper on a bad day.